Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about sphenoid bone, and the green portion here in the skull cavity or cranial cavity you can see is sphenoid bone. We'll start our topic with introduction. Sphenoid bone is one of the most complex and vital bones in the human skull. It plays a crucial role in supporting the structure of cranial cavity, forming connection with numerous other bones and housing important anatomical features related to vision and nerve passage. Due to its central location, the sphenoid bone is often referred to as the keystone of the skull. Now let's talk about the location of sphenoid bone. Sphenoid bone is a single bone and it is unpaired bone situated in the middle of the skull, forming part of the cranial base. It is positioned between the frontal bone, temporal bone, parietal bone, and occipital bone, articulating with them to maintain skull integrity. Now let's talk about the structure of the sphenoid bone. Bone is highly irregular in shape and consists of multiple parts that include body of sphenoid. That is the central portion housing the sphenoid sinuses and forming the base of the skull. The other part are the greater wings that are broad wing-like extension that contribute to the lateral wall of the skull and form part of the orbit. And the other part is the lesser wing that are the small projections paired with the greater wing assisting in formation of anterior cranial fossa. And the next part of sphenoid bone is pterygoid processes that are dorsal projection that serve as an attachment site for muscle involved in chewing and swallowing. Due to its shape, the sphenoid bone resembles a butterfly or bat when viewed from above. Let's talk about anatomical features related to the sphenoid bone. Sphenoid bone contains several important landmarks essential for its structural and functional roles. They include sella turcica, that is a saddle-shaped depression in the body of sphenoid bone that houses the pituitary gland and that is a crucial endocrine organ. The second anatomical features include optic canal, that is a passageway that allows the optic nerve and ophthalmic artery to travel from the brain to the eyes, facilitating vision. Next anatomical feature is superior orbital fissure, that is the opening between the greater and lesser wing and that permits the passage of cranial nerves responsible for eye movements and sensation. The next feature is foramen rotundum, that is a small circular hole that transmits the maxillary nerve, contributing to the facial sensation. The next anatomical feature includes foramen ovale, that is a larger oval-shaped opening that allows the mandibular nerve to pass, aiding in mastication. Next anatomical feature is foramen spinosum, that is a smaller opening near the foramen ovale that transmits the middle meningeal artery supplying blood to the meninges. Next anatomical feature include pterygoid plates, that are extension of pterygoid processes that provide attachment point for muscle involved in jaw movements. And these features contribute to the bone's diverse range of functions, particularly its role in neurological, visual, and muscular interaction. Now let's talk about the functions of the sphenoid bone. Sphenoid bone is essential for multiple physiological and structural functions, including support for skull structure. As the keystone of skull, sphenoid bone connects and stabilizes multiple cranial bones. The second function is protection of neurovascular structure, as in cases vital arteries, veins, and nerve, ensuring proper neurological function. The third function is facilitation of vision, as opening like optic canal and superior orbital fissure allow nerve passage critical for sight and eye movement. Next function is muscle attachment for chewing and swallowing. Pterygoid processes of sphenoid bone serve as the anchor point for muscle responsible for jaw movements. The next function is hormonal regulation, as sella turcica is the portion of sphenoid bone that houses the pituitary gland, which regulates several bodily functions through hormone production. Now let's talk about the clinical significance of the sphenoid bone. Sphenoid bone is involved in numerous medical conditions and anatomical concerns. These are sphenoid bone fractures, that are basically the head injuries that can lead to fracture affecting nerve function, vision, and skull stability. The next function is pituitary tumors, as abnormal growth in sella turcica can impact endocrine function and neurological health. The third significance is sinus infection or sphenoid sinusitis, as inflammation in sphenoid sinus can cause headache, nasal congestion, and complication if untreated. The next is in surgical importance, as neurosurgical and ophthalmic procedures often involve navigating structure within or near the sphenoid bone. So its study is really much important for surgical knowledge. Now let's talk about the conclusion of our lecture. Sphenoid bone is one of the most structurally significant components of the skull, contributing to the cranial stability, vision, neurological function, and muscular interaction. Its intricate anatomy makes it essential in medical studies, particularly in fields such as neurology, otolaryngology, and endocrinology. Understanding its role in cranial anatomy allows for better comprehension of its function and associated medical condition. So this was all about Sphenoid bone. Hopefully you liked the video. If you do, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and comment. Thank you for watching.